This day 462 of Zohar Pshat, and we're on Daf Nun Ham and Aleph in the Zohar Kodesh, and we are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, about 17 lines down. Tochazeh. If you look, if you have the notice the Rav Kook edition, so Tochazeh is last word on the left-hand margin, right next to a line below the beginning of the Vav in the Nitzutze Zohar. Start smaller. Any person goes to the left side. And the makes his ways tame. He brings all the negative spirits upon himself. And this negative spirit connects him. And it doesn't depart from him. He's dabkusa. And this ruach of Tuma connects this person below or not to others. And as a result, istabkusa dilon lav ila bein istabkim bu. The Baruchos of Tuma, they connect those people who want to connect them. You know, I think there's like the Gemara Pesachim Dafka, where the Baizugos says man kopi kabdina me, land lo kopi me. Says the Zohar says those who are concerned about Shedim, the Shedim are their concern. Those who are not concerned about Shedim not their concern. So to Ruach Tuma is very similar. If you're concerned with Ruach Tuma, you will get Ruach Tuma. If you're not concerned with Ruach Tuma, you're not going to get Ruach Tuma. But it's almost like we're saying that the Ruach HaTuma is not necessarily an independent, objective entity. You create your Ruach HaTuma. You believe in Ruach HaTuma, you create Ruach HaTuma. You don't believe in Ruach HaTuma, you don't create the Ruach HaTuma. People who live in the world of Shedim are the people who create a world of Shedim for themselves. I don't know if that's what Zohar really saying. It's quite possible Zohar saying, no, very simple. You know, their world is there. You tap into it. You're in there. You don't tap in, you're not there. But it could also be you create this world for yourself. If I was learning Zohar as a psychologist, so as I would say that a person creates himself a ruach, a world of Tumah, and then he inhabits the world of Tumah. It's not saying which exists independently. It's saying which this person creates for himself. Okay, that's a radical pshat. This is not the way anybody would normally learn the Zohar, I think, but remember, we said in the beginning when we started on this derech, we're trying to learn the Zohar as the way the Rambam would try to learn it. And Rambam learned symbolically. And there's a symbolism here. If you don't take Shedim Kipshutam, that they represent the Ruach of Tumah that a person can create for himself. And it's not necessarily independent of all the worlds which people created of Tumah beforehand. In other words, when people create a world of Tumah, they're following patterns which people have used in order to create them before them. Okay, so there's a lot of food for thought there. So I'm going to go along in these lines as we continue in this very fascinating Zohar here. The tzaddikim have merit. They're going a straight way. They are indeed, in truth, zakoy, meritorious, and their children are zakoyim because their children follow their path, and they're not going to create these worlds of tumah. But like Simon says, they are the straight ones who are going to dwell in the land in this much more proper way of living. Now, Chia says, and this came a little bit out of left field, but I think it's a continuation of this idea. It's interesting when Chia is mentioned here. It's Amora, of course. Later, Tana, early Amora is a transition figure, but Chia gets into the Zohar. The sister of Tuva Kain was Nama. Now, Tuva Kain was one of the sons of Kain, right? And Nama seems to have been a human being, right? And I believe that there's the Medrash or the Chazal will say that Nama was the wife of Noach. But Nama was also here a shade. And somehow or another, this human being, I think in a muscle, becomes one of the arch Shedim. My Irihacha to come at the Karshma Nama. None of the women are named in Parshas Bereshit, so all of a sudden Nama was mentioned. Ela begin the time in Nasha Abasra. Because the peoples were made the mistake of following her. Even though she was very beautiful, very attractive, I feel Ruchan Shedim. Even Ruchan Shedim followed her. Yitzmar inu bnei Elohim. The malachim who fell from Shemayim azon azol tohu basra. They followed her by mistake. Rabbi Shimon says, okay, so according to this, she's still a human being, right? She's a human being who had the Shedim got involved with, the malachim got involved with. But it comes, Rabbi Shimon says, Rabbi Shimon, iman shel Shedim havas. She's the mother of the Shedim. Now, it could be she was human, but she went over to the side of the Shedim. And the Mesitra the Kain Nafka, she comes out from the side of Kain. Okay, there's an interesting conversation here in the Nitzutei Zohar about, but I'm not sure how it's relevant to this. Anyway, but he's minus al Lelia. She's involved with Lelia, and there's Im Lilis, Baska the Rabbi in the childhood diseases. Askara is a specific choking disease, but the Askara of youngsters. So Nama and Leila work together. Now here's amazing. So it's in these two are. Ein Tishbi Erech Lila Shevim Ben Sira. He says the name Ma Bunny Masim. Why the church died 8 days old? Because Lilis kills them. Okay, so this obviously is a very dangerous shade. Shem Galanto, wherever that is. The two demons, Machlas and Lilis, Tamid Lochma Zos Im Zos. They fight with each other. They're two opposite ones. Machlas, he called Mecholos v'Simcha. She's all dances and joy. Menim Shachim Osam Haleitzim Ubali Mishta. From her come the scoundrels who are scoffers, mockers, clowns, and drunkards. She's opposite Lashon Yilola, a sound of mourning and a dirge. Menim Shachim Bali Morashchor. From her come the Bali Morashchor, people who are prone to depression. So here he mentions Machlos, not Nama. But here a fascinating idea, which is that the Shedim function, and this is really a psychologist Zohar, right? The Shedim function by bringing about these psychological states. They are mental, I don't know if mental illness would be the word to use. That's not the right word. But they are the states of mind, which are destructive states of mind. It's not, and if you're taking Shedim on a abstract and metaphorical level, all of a sudden we have here from this Nitzutei Zohar this idea that we have these forces, Nama and Lilis, and later on we'll come to Machlas, but they are forces in this world which cause all sorts of difficult human conditions. But in any event, this idea is that this Nama somehow was mentioned here because she is associated with negative phenomena in creation. I don't think she was wife of Noach. That's the same Nama. But that's the idea that it's the Askara, the Rabbi, this illness of the children, is not necessarily a disease which kills them, although that's what it sounds like here. But it sounds like from the Zohar, it's a disease which afflicts human beings in their psychology. But I don't know if that's Pshat in the Zohar either. We're going to come back. The Zohar is going to elaborate. We'll come back on tomorrow, next time we learn, of course.